Sitting here with Delaware Valley University head wrestling coach Steve Cantrell, previewing the 2016-17 season. Coach, if we could just talk about how you felt the team looked during your preseason, anything in particular stood out to you?
Sure. Well, real exciting to open up the season this weekend, particularly because of the preseason that we had. I was very impressed with the mentality of the team this year. They definitely are buying into our system of training and our approach to wrestling and being prepared to wrestle. And but what really stood out, I think, is that freshman class and the transfers that came in this year. Not only they come in a little bit not knowing what to expect, they came in with a very strong work ethic. And all in all, it was a real catalyst for the team, because I think those upperclassmen that were used to working hard, they had a group of a new class come in and really already embraced that. And so they were really pushing each other back and forth. So I was very, very impressed. I think more so than any freshman class I've had, they really have a strong work ethic. They're already on board with really trusting our coaching staff and the system that we have in place. And they're just prepared to work very hard. So I was very impressed.
Let's talk about the roster for a little bit. Let's start with the lower weights.
Sure. Lower weights. Well, kind of unique. Typically, there's not as many bodies at each one of those weights, and so there's not as much competition internally to the team. However, this year, that's a different story. We have quite a few. As many as 4 will be challenging for a starting spot at 125. We do have a returning national qualifier there with Brendan Velez, but they're definitely going to be tested about earning that spot back again, and that's what we do. You earn your spot every year here at DelVal. But some of those may make the transition up to 133. But there is definitely going to be a group of young men that will be competing for those spots at 125, 133, and at 141. So we're blessed with some depth now in all those weights.
And let's talk about the middle weights.
The middleweights, again, we have more depth than we've had in the past. As many as 6 149-pounders may be competing for that position, along at 141 and 157. So there is some definitely some opportunities to go to different individuals at those weights, and they'll push each other. And one great thing about the sport of wrestling is one is that as a coach, you don't have to choose who's going to start for the team. That's all in their hands. If they beat the person in front of them, they become the starter, and we aspire to that here at DelVal. But what I also love about it is that you're only as good as the people that you practice with, and the fact that we have some depth in these weights is only going to make those, if it is the same returning starters, to have that opportunity to have some strong individuals to train with. And then as a coach, it's a wonderful thing. So is that if someone needs to be out this week, whether it's injury or what, you have some really strong individuals to go to support the team in that effort.
And finally, the upper weights. Of course, we have the defending national champion at heavyweight in Zach Roseberry.
You bet. And then our traditionally our upper weights have always been, at least in my time here, has been pretty strong, and that's going to continue. We have Zach Roseberry returning. That was one, when we think about how did last year end, we ended on a very high note. The very last match of last season for DelVal was crowning a new national champion. So he's going to lead the way for us this year. And as our captain and as a senior, as a 3-time All-American, he's embraced all of those duties and responsibilities to come and really be the leader for our team. And so very excited about how hard he's worked, how he's approached it in a very mature way. And so I think that's going to really pay dividends for the entire team. But we also have Ben Schweiker, returning national qualifier from last year. He's be a 4-year starter if he defends that position. But he also made it to nationals, was 2-2 there, round of 12. So I think that was a big confidence boost. He realized that he can compete at the very highest level in Division III. So I think his approach to this year has changed as well. He's willing to pay the price and deserve the right to win. And so those kind of things that have really shown up in our preseason workouts. And so excited about him. There's also some other individuals in there that are going to show and have benefited from that intensity that's occurred. Well, I aspire to the D3 model, so I would tell you that the first and foremost is academic success. We track that very closely, and all of the team knows that. So we're excited to compete in the classroom. I think that's very, very important. But real close behind that, as a wrestling coach, is competing on the mat. And we're excited about that. We're proud of last year, but we know we can perform back to where we were the couple years before that, and that is in that top 10 position. So we have the talent, we have the individuals on the team to be back in the top 10 with that kind of finish at nationals, and so we're aspiring to be back in the top 10 this season. But other than that, we have a very strong conference, even though it's a small number of schools. They're very strong schools that wrestle out of the MAC. And so we want to compete in the MAC as well as our region. So a very exciting year. We approach the season in that the whole goal is to compete and be successful in March. Everything leads up to that. That's what we focus on. And so we're excited about how we're going to approach it.